Now it's really important that you have a safe working angle on an extension ladder or any ladder that you're leaning up against a building or a surface. Now you're going to learn this in your safety training, but just as a reminder, observe the 4-to-1 rule. You also want to just get a feel for the ladder setup. If it feels like it's too straight up and down, or that the angle is too shallow, or if you're on slippery ground, make sure that you're on a really stable and comfortable angle before you climb the ladder. Another thing you have to watch out for before you climb is to look down at the feet of the ladder. You want to make sure that the ladder is completely seated down into the bottom of the ladder feet. Now there's all different types of ladder feet, different designs, different channels that these pins slide through. Every ladder might be a little bit different. It really doesn't matter. The important thing is to make sure that this ladder is completely seated, and it can be deceptive. So for instance, this ladder, it may stay in this position without you holding it there, but it's not actually seated. So you really want to kind of jiggle the ladder, put a little weight on it, make sure that it's completely flush. If we look around on this end here, you can see that the very bottom of the ladder itself is grounded to the bottom of the foot. So there's no way that this can shift down. So that's really important. You want to do that for both feet. A good rule of thumb is to just put a little weight on it, give it a little shift, and make sure that it's nice and firmly grounded. It's also good to put a little weight on it and maybe bounce up and down a little bit before you start to climb to make sure that the ladder's not going to settle in some soft ground like some mulch or some mud or some really soft grass. So if you get a little weight on it, give it some motion, it'll really seat itself, and then you're in a comfortable, safe position to actually climb the ladder. So something you always want to look for on the end of your extension ladder is a sort of cushion or a boot like this. This is a soft material that's not going to scratch up or damage finished surfaces, both inside and outside. If we don't have these on our ladder, look at what's going to make contact with the surface. It's kind of this rough fiberglass, or it might be aluminum, a hard plastic piece. When this hits the surface up high on the building, it's going to move around a little bit as you're climbing, and it's going to create gouges and scratches in finished surfaces, and we don't want that. So we always want to use one of these soft bumpers on both ends of a ladder. Doesn't matter what kind of ladder you use, if it leans against a building, you need to have something like this. I also recommend if it's a lighter colored surface, or if you're inside, you might want to put some towels or some shoe covers on the ends here, because those are going to be nice and clean, and these will get dirty over time and they will transfer dirt onto finished surfaces. So make sure these are clean periodically, but also cover them with something that's not going to damage if you're concerned about the surface that you're leaning the ladder up against.